Hiya! We're
Hiya!
the Small Potatoes.
Yes. All right, and we're gonna talk about heavyweights.
Heavyweights.
Made in 1995, the year you were born.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
Yes, and we love heavyweights. It is a classic Disney movie, even though it's not really Disney, right?
Yeah, it was made by Disney, but it's more of like a family movie.
Yeah.
But we're talking when family movies were really, really good and not really afraid to go there.
Yes, but school's out, and what better movie to talk about other than Heavyweights, which starts off with the last day of school.
Yes.
Jerry misses the bus, and he has to walk home, and he gets tricked into going to a fat camp. He meets a couple people like Kenan Thompson, and what's the other guy's name?
Shaun Weiss.
Shaun Weiss.
Yes.
They're part of his little summer crew. But what we don't know, or Jerry doesn't know, is that it's not going to be a regular year at camp. It's going to be a completely different year because Ben Stiller
takes over.
Yeah.
Usually it's run by the Bushkins, also played by Ben Stiller's parents, which is really funny.
Yes.
I think that's a fun little addition.
R.I.P. to his father.
And R.I.P. to their finances because they filed for bankruptcy.
Chapter 9 bankruptcy.
Oh my God! Yeah, don't let anyone sign your checks.
Yes.
He takes over.
Yeah, he takes over and he turns it into a cash grab. He is trying to make an infomercial with this camp, and for some reason he's doing anything he can to like humiliate these kids throughout the summer.
Yes.
Right?
And as resilient as they are, I think he's trying to just sort of make them feel bad for being fat. Like,
yeah.
Like, I think that's a lot of the message from the movie is it's like these kids are real resilient and they
find camaraderie
in each other. Yeah. And it's like one of the good lines from us getting to know the cast is like no one's gonna make fun of you for being the fat kid because everyone's the fat kid.
Yes.
And I think it's really, really charming and like just really sweet in that way.
There's even a scene where like there's a bunch of pretty girls and they're at a dance.
Yeah.
But
it's meant to humiliate them.
It's meant to humiliate them, but in the end, the boys end up dancing with these girls. And one of them is even making out with them.
Oh my God, yeah.
Even though they're the fat kids.
And Ben Stiller, he just keeps trying to break these kids. But they don't.
They don't.
They eventually find a way to overthrow him.
Yes.
In a very funny, sort of dark way.
Oh my God, yes.
Because they
he becomes a hostage. Legit hostage.
Yeah.
It goes crazy. But the kids like end up like revealing to the parents like this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
He's been torturing us all summer.
This whole time.
Yeah. And then they get the camp back.
And they have like a really awesome food scene.
Yeah.
But like ultimately they learn that it's like, hey, even though there's nothing inherently wrong with us being fat, we should make some sort of lifestyle changes. That's what they learn whenever they take control of the camp again.
Yeah.
And they find out like, hey, like maybe we don't have to have like giant feasts all the time. Maybe we can go out for walks or like learn about fruits and vegetables and what they do to us.
Like, it's not always about eating the sweets. It's about enjoying your life.
Yeah,
well.
yeah, in moderation. Yeah. And
exactly.
like, it's a really good lesson to teach these kids. And ultimately, it bands them together to team up against the rival camp across the lake.
And
Camp
their
MVP.
In their annual, like, relay race
competition. Which they've never won.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nice. It's really uplifting in the end. Our main character, Jerry, he wins the race.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, I love Heavyweight so much. We should talk about some of our favorite scenes.
Yeah, we can.
I think in the intro, they say a lot whenever Jerry, sort of misses the bus early on.
Oh yeah.
Because like he
has to walk home, so he has to walk home past all these like different obstacles.
He's like laughably fat, I would say. And it's the mid-90s.
Yeah, like. It's the supermodel era. It's
infomercial eras.
Yeah, infomercials where like they have like the little like chairs.
Oh yeah. They're like selling all sorts of like ellipticals. You can see Chuck Norris in some like infomercials for him.
There's the Pilates like tapes and all that.
There's the big. Oh yeah, you already said supermodels, right?
Yeah.
They're like prominent models like Kate Moss who were like notoriously like sort of starving looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't mean to be insensitive about it, but like there definitely were some image issues in the 90s. But yeah, no, he's laughably fat. He gets to a lemonade stand after just like huffing and puffing on the way home because it's like
such a long walk.
yeah, it's like the start of summer.
Yeah.
There's these cute little girls with a lemonade stand, and he like just
he gives them like $1 for the lemonade, but he doesn't grab a cup. He grabs the pitcher and he's like,
he gulps it all the way down, and we get to his house after all that, after learning like how sort of sluggish and
not athletic he is.
Yeah.
His parents are like, "Hey, we want you to meet somebody."
He's just like, okay, whatever. And it's Tim Blake, Buster Scruggs, Holes. He's there for some reason.
And he's like, "Hey, I want you to watch this video."
Yeah, and it's like a video for like this kick-ass camp with like go-karts and a blob and all that. And it's not until the end where we find out one of the camp counselors, Pat Finley.
He's been there for like 15 years.
Yeah,
right?
he's great. He's a great role model for like these kids. Definitely reminds me of a close friend of mine. He's really confident in himself.
But he reveals, he's like, "This is Camp Hope.
Yeah.
A weight loss camp."
Yeah, you see it, and then you see Jerry being like, "Oh, get out of here."
He's like, "It's a fat camp."
Yeah, he's like, "I don't want to go there." They had this little like back and forth.
But then he's like, "I'm your dad. You're going to do whatever I say."
Yeah. Oh my God, another thing. He gets on the plane.
And he's by himself.
By himself.
Yeah.
I know it's like the mid-90s, and like that thing happens 6 years later. But yeah, like that's super weird. But this is where we meet Kenan Thompson. Yeah.
He comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, are you going to fat camp? Because you're fat."
Yeah, and your dad's fat too. Like presumably his like little like seat mate.
Yeah. Who's asleep, by the way. Thank God.
This is a great big fat guy. Yeah. And like this is one of Kenan's early roles, right? Like I would say it's in the middle of like all that.
Was he in the Mighty Ducks too?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he had just done Mighty Ducks then. And then he's doing this
He's
movie.
doing this. Yeah. A lot of the Mighty Ducks cast is in this movie, like Shaun Weiss.
Even Jerry is in the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Like, that's three of the main characters.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah.
He's like, "We're all going to this fat camp. Don't be ashamed of it. It's actually really fun.
Yeah.
They don't actually make us, like, lose weight. All we do is pig out and swim.
Like, hang out and just
You're
sort of
going to love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
When they get off, they get to the bus stop.
Yeah, and that's where they meet all the other kids.
So I guess we assume they all traveled alone, but
oh my God, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah,
I never even thought about that.
But we meet the main cast, like Salami Sam. Shaun Weiss did this because he had a contract. He was contractually obligated
to do Disney movies, like an X amount of Disney movies.
To do Mighty Ducks 2.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do heavyweights. And he is definitely one of the characters that sticks out.
Yeah, his character is like one of the funniest characters.
He's very funny.
He has like this Italian like mobster kind of thing going.
He's got a swagger to him, you know?
We see him wearing, what's that hat called?
A Kangol hat.
A Kangol hat. He's wearing a backwards Kangol hat.
Yeah,
too.
and he automatically like gives Jerry a nickname because like he's
"What's
got
up, Captain?"
Yeah, he calls him Captain. That just goes to show you like how much of a tight-knit group these kids are.
Yeah, because these kids aren't even like, "Oh, who's this new kid?" They're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, join our crew.
Yeah.
We're all the fat kids."
They get picked up by Pat, who is the
yeah.
bus driver, by the way, which is like, way to go. He's doing so much for this camp.
Oh yeah, and he's the guy that's in the promotional video.
And like right off the bat, he lets us know how like easygoing he is.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey,
Making
new
jokes.
kid, you know how to drive stick, right? Because it's a tradition where the new kid sort of
Yeah.
drives the bus first." And like Jerry goes along with it. He's very sarcastic.
Yeah,
we
and
learn-
then when they finally get on the road, he like pretends to pull into
oh my
like,
God, yes.
to like a Taco Bell, and he's like, "No, we can't go there."
Okay, just for our European friends. A lot of America does look like this because
Back then.
they shot it in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
But you see the whole strip.
It's like Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, McDonald's,
Bojangles.
Yeah, Bojangles.
Yeah, like everything is there. This made me think that they shot it in California.
Really?
Because like or like LA, because you know how that's
'cause
like
they
the
have the
fast
hub,
food
yeah.
like capital of
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
A lot of America did look like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. They eventually get to camp, but not before they're greeted by Sims.
And he's just like with the big stick going.
Sims is like a random character.
He's like the tallest character too, so he like stands out
Yeah.
because he is a literal giant and he has like a mustache.
This is where like the movie goes a little dark and lets us
Oh,
know that
yeah.
it's gonna be dark because it's so ominous.
yeah, it cuts to like a death toll. Like
Yeah,
a
he's just like
dong.
the harbinger.
Yeah, the harbinger kind of like don't go here.
Yeah,
you know?
but then they unpack. They like have fun. They play on the blob. All that.
They make fun of the camp counselor who got skinny.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. One of the camp counselors got skinny.
He's wearing these booty shorts too.
He's wearing
and a crop
cutoffs.
top.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's like
Why don't we dress like that anymore?
yeah. He's got that shit on.
Oh yeah, and then we meet Nurse Julie too.
Nurse Julie, yes.
who goes to Pat and
She-
is like, "Hey, like, where's the infirmary?" And Pat's like, too nervous to talk to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know."
I find Nurse Julie exceptionally one-dimensional.
Oh yeah, she's just there to be a love interest
for Pat.
Yeah, like
But-
she's solely there for Pat.
But this furthers the message of the movie.
oh
where it's
yeah,
like,
that like people will like you for you because Nurse Julie like is flirting.
she
Yeah.
wants Pat.
She wants Pat. Like she flirts with him throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And at one point she's like, "Hey, like stay with me."
Yeah,
And like we'll have fun.
Yeah, Pat chokes up and like he can't tell her where the place is.
Yeah.
And like Kenan Thompson goes up to Pat and
He's
he's
like, "You
hey,
blew it."
He's like, "Hey man, you've been going here for so long. Yeah, you blew it."
Yeah.
And it's like we get it. And I feel like this is I was a chubby kid growing up and I had a lot of self-confidence issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it because like I had a lot of trouble accepting that like you know you liked me. We've been together for 14 years, but it's a confidence thing, and I feel like as a chubby kid you should watch this, or not even if you're not a chubby kid. It's just it's gotta be yourself sort of message to it.
Yes.
But then, you know, after we're introduced to all these characters, the crew and all that, we meet up with the Bushkins.
Yeah, after all the kids like get settled and after they play a little bit,
Yeah.
they're all settled. They get settled into the auditorium where they meet the owners of the camp.
And they give us a hi,
Yeah.
hi.
And like all the kids are like, hi, and they're like really into it.
Sean Weiss's character looks
He's
to,
like,
to Jerry. He's like, you'll
get it.
You'll get it.
He's like, yeah. Like, and that's also adding to like how like very tight knit this camp is, because even like Pat, like when
Yeah.
when he couldn't flirt with the nurse, like they were like, it's okay. Like they know Pat. They know he's a good guy. He just is a bad flirt. You know?
You know what I just realized too?
What?
We had a thing like that every summer in high school.
Oh my god.
We
yeah,
had
you're
a college readiness program that we did yearly,
Mhm.
and it felt very much the same, where you know you sort of take on this leadership role and introduce these like shy-ish kids, because we
Yeah.
came from like a lower income area,
Yeah.
and it was a privileged program.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's why we kind of relate to it. We know some similarities to it. But yeah, the Bushkins let us know that they're giving up the camp.
Yeah, that they filed for Chapter 9 bankruptcy.
And it sucks. Like they want the kids to give them one last like hi before they
And the kids are
end
just
off
like,
the camp.
Hi.
And this brings the Sims cry count
Oh
to
yeah,
one.
this is the first time we see Sims like just crying randomly.
Yeah, if you want to do a fun little drinking game with it, take a shot every time you see Sims crying.
Yeah.
You won't get alcohol poisoning, but it's
And then-
more than once.
But yeah, the did we already say this? The Bushkins are Ben Stiller's real life.
Yeah,
parents.
yeah. They're his parents.
Yeah.
And I thought that was real fun.
Yeah, it's like Adam Sandler always having like his wife.
Oh,
in
or his
movies.
friends, or like Kevin James. And
Obviously, Ben Stiller wasn't with his wife,
Yeah.
his current wife, but he does that too. He puts like his family members in the movies.
So yeah, he we're introduced to Ben Stiller, and we could kind of see how out of touch he is, because you know
He's very showy.
yeah he immediately is like, we're gonna turn this camp into the best weight loss commercial.
And he completely changes the camp. He has his own like logo.
Yeah.
It looks more like the camp T-shirts look like a gym T-shirt.
Globo Gym. But we can kind of tell that he doesn't relate to his kids, because he goes in for the high
Oh
five.
yeah, there's a part where he's like just like like running through
expecting
the aisle.
everyone
But there's that one kid who's like,
at the end there.
he tries to, but he doesn't
Oh,
get the
they
high
miss
five.
it?
He's like, it's really funny.
And then it cuts to just like Lars, who is foreign.
Oh yeah, we cut to the Chipmunks cabin where all of our main cast is staying together, of course.
Where Pat usually has.
Yeah. Pat usually is the camp counselor for that specific cabin.
Yes.
But we're introduced to a new character, Lars.
Lars.
And he is a foreigner. I think he's Scandinavian.
Yeah, he might be. He's on the.
I thought he was.
He's on the cover.
Swedish.
That's Lars in that sandwich.
What? Oh, is it? Oh my god, I never noticed that. That's so funny. But yeah, like he comes in and he's like really tall and buff and like perfect looking. You know?
Like most of those Nordics are, right?
He looks like the guy from The Princess Bride.
He does.
Like very like pretty boy looking, very like blonde.
He's got the build of a Skarsgård brother. Like,
yeah.
this
and
big Viking.
And so like Pat's like, hey, like this is my bunk, like. Let's go talk to what's his name? Tony. Let's go talk to Tony. This must be like a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But Lars is like, yeah, go talk to him, and he grabs his luggage and like throws it out. He's like,
and
bye.
this is where we could kind of see where a lot of Pat's confidence issues come from, because he's probably been used to being bullied by these people like most of his life. Like Lars intimidates him out of the camp. And then we get to the next morning in camp where they wake up earlier than usual.
No, like remember Lars? He's like talking to them, but he's being like really creepy. He's like, "Hi,
oh yeah,
I am Lars."
Like he clearly went to a workshop and he's like, "Let's do a team building exexerce to learn each other's names."
Oh yeah, and then like Sean Weiss is like,
"We already know each other's names."
Like Sean Weiss is like not afraid to be sassy.
Challenge these guys.
Yeah, he's like, "Dude, it's like you're not gonna mess with my summer. I'm still gonna have fun.
This is my crew. We don't need to do these dumb exercises."
Like, exactly. Yeah.
And
then it's the next morning.
Yes, and then it's the next morning. None of them sleep, and they definitely wake up a little bit early. Sort of like a lot of these fitness influencers, you know, they're like, "Oh, I start my day at like 5 a.m."
They wake up to like the trumpets now because of Tony.
Yes, so Tony definitely wants to like put this strict lifestyle on them, and he gets them on this like slope to do a balance and weight training exercise.
Oh yeah, we cut to them just like sliding. Like,
the
across.
slide.
Yeah.
And right here is where we could see signs of Tony being not really all there, because he's up on the stage.
Yeah, he's up on a stage
and it's
where
level.
It's flat, and they're easily like he's like glide. You know, he's doing that, but like these kids are like on uneven grass. It's slow,
falling all over the place.
So they're over here like falling. He was like, you guys. He's basically over here like kind of be like, you guys are like idiots. Like, how can you not do this? But they can.
Yeah.
Like literally can.
And then we get one of the more classic scenes where it's like the first weigh-in.
Oh yeah.
And one of the scenes that sticks out is that like Sims cries the second time, I think.
So they're all like getting weighed, and then we cut to Sims like getting weighed, and then like Lars is like, "You're the fattest kid at this camp."
To
like
sort of shame
congratulations.
him, yeah. But like here's where the kids sort of stick up for one another, because like Sean Wise's character, he's just like,
let's do this.
And it's funny. It's funny. It's like it's actually really funny.
And then we cut to a montage with the song "Freak Out" to them getting like their necks pinched to see how their neck fat is and whatnot. And that's second, what you were talking about, Sims crying for the second time.
Yeah, and then it cuts to another one of Tony's life lessons.
Oh yeah.
Where he puts him against camp MVP in this baseball game.
Oh yeah.
And these kids are like trained to do sports.
I think it's a baseball camp.
Baseball camp.
Yeah, I think that's a baseball
They're very
camp.
athletic kids. They are the antithesis
of
a fat camp.
Yeah.
And like
Pat meets up with Tony
and he's like, "Hey, I don't think this is a good idea.
Like, we need to cancel the game."
And then Tony's like, "This isn't about baseball. This is about life." And
because Ben Stiller's doing this voice this entire time where he's just like, kind of like in Global Gym.
Yeah.
Or what's it called?
Dodgeball. Yeah, he's got a funny voice.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Sorry.
But yeah. So like one of my. They obviously lose the baseball game and they're all getting hurt.
Oh, yeah, and it's Sims crying again.
Sims cries again. This is 2 times now that he's cried, 2 or 3.
Like, and all of them are getting hurt because even Nurse Julie's like, what is going on out there? Because there's a line. There's a waiting period.
And one of the kids is like, we're percusizing.
Oh, yeah, we're percusizing. Because that's Tony's motto. Percocise.
My favorite scene in this, Ben Stiller sort of.
Oh yeah.
He raids their camp.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, like, you guys don't have self-control. I know you're hiding candy somewhere.
He's like, I was a fat kid once. Like, I know all the secrets.
Yeah.
And he's like over here, like, knocking on, like, the different, like what?
Searching for hollow spots.
Yeah. And he finds, like, a couple. He finds, like, beef jerky in the bed.
Yeah.
And then,
he talks to Keenan.
Yeah, he talks to Keenan.
He's like, I'm your buddy.
He's like, look, I know I know you guys think you're a bad guy, but, like, I'm still a good guy. Like, give me a hug. And even, like,
after the hug, he pats him down and finds like Pez in his like sock.
Yeah, he
and,
finds it like right here.
And it was such a funny editing choice because like he's like, looks like my man's packing, but like
because he like opens the Pez and then it sounds like there's bullets like dropping on the floor. Like he empties the thing.
Yeah. It sounds like a revolver being emptied and like bullets hitting the floor.
Exactly.
And I think that's such a funny like comedic choice.
The scene ends with Sean Weiss's character.
Oh yeah, he's like making fun of Tony. He cracks like a gay joke, I think, and like Tony Perkins is like, "Oh, you're a comedian, huh? I guess I should book you on tour." And it like cuts to Sean sort of making fun of him again, and it freeze frames on him.
Yeah, it freeze frames on him like the end of a CSI episode.
Yeah.
It's like. Dun dun.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes black and white, and then the next morning, his bed is empty.
Yeah.
Like we wake up to him just gone.
And Tony Perkins is like, he's no longer with us.
Yes.
Josh is no longer with us.
And that's it. Like these kids have nothing else to go on except for like these like camp cooks are like, yeah,
your friend's dead.
He's dead.
Josh was sort of their leader in a way.
Yeah. He was the one that would talk back to the camp counselors. Talk back to Tony. He had all the confidence in the group.
Josh isn't part of the dance scene.
No.
But another humiliation tactic to get into these kids' brains is he finds a girls' camp.
Oh yeah, he invites a girls' camp to their camp to have a little camp dance for the kids to get together and have fun. But like that's not his intention. Like Tony wants to show these kids like, hey, you're not losing weight. You're fat and you can't like talk to these girls because you don't have confidence.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't like
he expects them
like
to be wallflowers.
Yeah, yeah.
And not really dance with these girls.
Which is what happens at first. These kids are like, hey, like we're just here to be humiliated. Like look at these girls. They don't even want to look at us. And we even cut to the girls being like this isn't fun. Like I just want to go back to our camp.
And I feel like this is where like the camp counselor Ted really steps up.
Yeah.
Because like every side character in here really matters. He is the first one because he's the one that lost weight.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, like he goes up to Pat. He's like, no, like you and me, we're gonna tear up the dance floor. And it's really really fun. I think Love Machine plays.
Yeah, Love Machine. But I think he does it because like he reflects on his own. Like, hey, I'm old and I still can't talk to women. Like these kids need a good role model.
Yeah.
In their life to show them like you can talk to these girls.
And then they all sort of like let loose. Mm-hmm. And you know it's another uplifting scene because all these kids like they're like, yeah, let's go talk to these girls.
And then Salami Sam's making out with this girl for like quite a while actually.
It's funny, yeah.
And then we cut to Ben Stiller just be like, all right, party's over, ladies go home, because he's like, you guys can't be like having this much fun, okay? This is not the point of this dance.
Yeah, this is a mental exercise.
Yeah, and even like the camp counselors are like, of course he stopped the dance.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Jerry being all sad because the go-karts don't work.
Yeah, he's kind of just being there thinking about what the camp could have been.
Yeah, because like all these kids make it seem like this camp was just so fun all these past years, and he's not getting that experience. He's getting the really crappy experience. Like,
but Pat notices that he's sort of like down, and he
sees the injustice.
Yeah, and he's like, no, this camp used
fun.
to. What did you say? This camp used to suck, not at all, or something like that.
Something like that. Something really like funny.
Yeah, and it's a really another uplifting scene because like. He just ends up pushing Jerry all around the track on the go-kart.
Because the go-karts don't have engines anymore.
Yeah, because they had to get gutted.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows us what kind of person Pat is.
Yeah.
And like Nurse Julie notices this.
Oh yeah, Nurse Julie's like, ooh, he's such a chill.
Like
he's good with children.
What a good role model.
Yeah.
And like that's a good scene too.
Yeah. And then we cut to Jerry, like going back to the cabin.
Yeah, it's nighttime, and
nighttime.
Guess who comes back?
Oh yeah, we hear like the door swing open, and then it's freaking Josh. Being like, Josh, my bad.
Josh was bad.
So good. And they're like, oh my God, Josh, they brainwashed
Yeah.
you. What did they do?
And he talks about how like his uncle threatened to sue Tony.
Yeah.
And he makes a Buffalo Bills joke, which totally dates this movie because
my God,
at the time
yes.
in 1995 they had lost 4 in a row.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I think that's the most like 1995
reference.
Yeah. It's like okay, yeah, it dates it a little bit. It's still timeless though. That's the only dated part I see. But he starts cracking all these jokes about how he went to the Sizzler.
Because they make it seem like this camp is like a prison. Because they're like, what was it like on the outside?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Shawshank.
Yeah.
Very
like,
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, when the guy comes back. That's so funny.
He's like, I went to the Sizzler, got that all-you-can-eat meal. Shut the place down.
Like the Duggars.
Yeah. And then like these kids have a second wind. They rally behind him. They're like, you know what? Because earlier the candy.
Oh yeah.
The candy spot was given away by this Judas character.
Yeah. So earlier the camp was when they were raiding the camp. Some kid who for some reason
he was a chipmunk last year.
Yeah, he was a chipmunk last year, but for some reason he's Team Perkins this summer.
Yeah, he was hired on for Team Perkins.
He shows Tony. He's like, Tony, I was a chipmunk, and shows him this big old stash of candy, beef jerky, cheese, and all that.
Deli meats, yeah.
And so later,
they go out looking for this candy inside Tony's cabin while Tony's going out for his like run,
which is a really fast run somehow. Like he literally runs down like the road and then runs right back. It's not even like around the lake. It's not like he's carrying any weight or anything.
He's in the zone though.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm dogging it, Pat. I'm dogging it. He's like lifting up logs, like.
But like the kids go in his cabin. They're looking for the candy, but instead they find their letters home that they've been writing to their families, being like, save us from this camp.
And they find Photoshop versions of themselves.
Yeah, they find posters of like Tony's idea to like sell this infomercial to all these like people in the country.
It's a really gross scene, but it's also real little rascalsy.
Really funny, yeah. Because like at one point one of them like farts.
Yes, the British one.
Yeah, the British kid farts, and like Tony comes back, he's like, oh.
Yeah, he smells it.
What
like
is that?
They found that, but like once they like regather, they find themselves in the bathroom stalls, only to find one of their campmates.
Yeah.
Eating up a cheeseburger.
Well, first of all, the bathroom stall in this scene. This is a bathroom, and you can see. Down, you can see like if these kids are pooping, you can see stuff. You can see it all. Like this is not a bathroom.
These stalls suck.
But anyway, Jerry hears like
a rapper.
Yeah, he hears a rapper. He's like he just hears it like a dog. He's like a rapper, and they follow it and they find their friend eating a cheeseburger.
Just the look of shame on his face.
Oh. And they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I found this."
And he's like, "Okay, I'll tell you, but."
And then we
you gotta keep it to yourself. And then I Want Candy plays.
Yes, and it's a montage.
Yeah.
Of this kid just creating this monopoly
the
on
kid that
food.
gave away the stash.
Yeah.
He ran DoorDash before it was even a thing.
DoorDash was a thing, yeah. Because he has a secret stump that's like a fake stump. So he puts like the food in there and you leave the cash. Yeah, you leave the cash, he leaves the food.
It's so fun. It's a fun scene.
Even Pat is in on it. Yeah, he uses it for like chicken.
Yeah, his own thing.
Yeah. It's really funny.
And then so it's a montage of just this, which leads to the second weigh-in.
Yeah.
Which has another memorable scene.
Yeah.
Definitely up there with best scenes of the movie. Because obviously Tony's realizing all these guys are like gaining weight and they're not really like.
I think it's like summer's halfway over.
Yes.
And so he does like, okay, we're gonna do a
weigh-in.
weigh-in, a mid summer weigh-in.
Yeah, to see their progress.
And all of these kids are fatter than when they like came. So they're all like 3 pounds heavier, 5 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
And Tony's like, "What the heck, you guys? This is not okay. We're gonna go on this 3-day hike, and you guys are gonna be not eating. You're gonna
it's like a 20-mile hike.
Yeah.
But and the funniest scene in the weigh-in though.
Oh my god.
Was
yes,
Josh's character gets up there. He's like, Josh Burnback, get on the scale. He gets on it for 1 second maybe, and he's like, get off the scale.
And Josh is the only one that goes up there. He's like, yeah, Tony, let's do this.
And then you knew at some point that joke was going to come up in this movie, and it's a great payoff. But yeah, during the hike, because Tony loses it and wants to put these boys through hell and thinks that this is the only way to do it. It gets really scary.
Yeah, it does, because like Tony takes him to this cliff, and he's like going crazy. He's hanging off the cliff with like a tree branch. He's doing push-ups, like really like aggressively.
If the kids are falling down, he's just like, leave them, they're dead weight.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. He was like, if they can't survive.
Yeah, they reach the top of the hike, and Tony's going on this like Tai Chi kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Which is like
he's meditating.
Yeah.
And that gives these kids enough time to come up with a plan and be like, hey, we're not going to deal with this
anymore. We're not going
to
take it. Like,
yeah, so they come up with this plan.
to trap Tony.
Yeah. So they get him to do like a sit-up, and they ask him, can you do a sit-up without being able to see or hear?
Yeah.
And Josh is like waiting with his like bare naked butt, okay?
Full moon out.
And he's like bent too, so like you can see things, I'm sure.
It's so gross.
It is. And Tony like gets up and he's like, oh
my god.
And he chases
yeah,
Josh.
he pursues him.
Yeah, through like out the woods.
To the area where they clearly want him to run into, and then Josh sort of fakes this like injury.
Oh yeah, he fakes
he's like, oh god, my leg.
He's like, I sprained my leg or something.
Yeah, and
Tony's like, congratulations, you've just joined the 12% of Americans
that don't stretch before exercise, which is honestly good advice.
It is, honestly.
Please stretch.
The only positive thing that Tony did.
And he falls right into a pit.
Yes, he falls into a pit, and he can't get out.
Yeah,
obviously.
The kids run to go tell Pat and Julie and Ted,
because they're all trying to conspire too and try and figure out how to get like Tony in trouble.
Yeah,
and they're like, they talk to CPS and they don't know what to do.
They find out that the cameraman too is like, hey, have you guys seen Tony? He owes me $600.
Who looks like he should be in a freaking like 80s music video.
He's got one earring.
He has the fro. He has a feather earring.
Yeah,
he looks like he wears eyeliner too.
He looks so 90s.
Yeah, he looks like very like of the style.
Yeah, real stylish.
Yeah.
And like.
And they're surprised because they're like, "Oh my god, you guys like
you can't
do this."
Yeah, because we find Tony like tied up in a cell.
He's like
in a cell. It's really dark.
And they even have like this cell like electric. They made it electric with a bug zapper.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, so like he can't touch the fence without getting zapped.
So like they rally behind this news and they throw what is like gotta be the coolest food scene in all of cinema. They have this big ass party.
So the kid who was the DoorDash kid, he with his money gets all this like food delivered. He has like the long sandwich.
He redeems himself for sure.
Yeah, he gets like s'more stuff,
dozens of pizzas.
Yeah, like these kids are like partying.
Yeah,
they have like whipped cream cans. They're just like
so like classical music plays over.
There's
over
chocolate
the scenes.
syrup everywhere.
And then we come back to Lars.
Oh yeah. Oh, so they tie up all the like the Tony Perkins like camp counselors.
Yeah.
And they go up to Lars like, hey, Lars, we just found out that you're here on a work visa, which means that if you don't work, you get deported. And Lars is just like, okay.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I want to eat, you know?
Yeah. And they all wake up the next morning with food hangovers.
Oh yeah.
And
like, Pat sees how everybody's just like passed out from the ground.
Because Pat could have joined in, but
Pat wanted to join
but then Julie's like, no, stay with me.
Yeah, she's like, she basically insinuates that they're gonna
like hook up.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's cute.
So Pat wakes up basically not hungover, and he's like, you guys, we do need to be healthy. Like, we might not need
for
to
ourselves.
We need to be healthy for ourselves. Like, just because someone told us that we're fat and we need to lose weight doesn't mean that we need to do that. But we need to be exercising and
have some
right.
self-respect.
Yeah.
Because he's like, because they all feel like crap. They're all hungover.
Well, and two, if we can assume that Pat got lucky.
Oh my God!
He is post-coital, right?
Yeah, so he's got the post clarity.
Yes, post clarity. Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
And he wants them to remember how they feel, and they start like running around,
Nurse
like
Julie's,
taking morning walks.
Yeah, they're taking morning walks. Nurse Julie's like teaching a cooking class, and she's like, a tomato is a fruit, actually.
And it's another montage.
Yeah.
And then it leads to the parent day visit.
Oh yeah, and at this point too, it's assumed that at least a week has passed by, if not 2, right?
Yeah.
And Tony has been locked up this entire time. He has gone crazy. He is coming up with a plan in his head already to escape.
He uses a piece of tinfoil.
Yeah,
to sort of lure.
Yeah, to lure the British kid. He has like a candy, and he finds a way to escape. But before like all this, it's Parents' Day. All the parents are excited to see the kids, and even Jerry's dad is like, "You haven't lost weight. You look like you got bigger."
But Jerry's like, "But I feel better."
Yeah, and he's like, "I don't care, Dad. I'm having fun."
Yeah, and like. Another really dark scene is they show this like indie horror film.
Yeah,
like,
they get everybody in the auditorium and they're like, "This is what has been going on all summer with your kids."
It's super dark.
Yeah, and they're like, it looks like one of
Blair Witch.
Yeah, but it looks Blair Witch with like the essence of like, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, like we can tell that like Tony's been starving these kids.
Oh yeah.
They the funniest scene is.
Which one?
Whenever Josh sort of like finds a rat, and it's clearly fake. And then he's like, "Oh my God, you don't know how long I've been waiting for this," and he just starts eating.
And all the parents are like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. It like briefly becomes A24 like horror.
Yes. And then Tony escapes and he comes out all crazy. He's like, "Congratulations!"
It's super villain
I'm the bad
horror.
Guy.
And like as a kid, this really scared me.
Because he went crazy. He's legit crazy.
It's scary.
He breaks like a piece of glass and like freaking like walks over it. He's like, "Oh, it feels so good."
Yeah.
He's like, "I like the pain."
He eventually gets taken down by his own antics because he starts like flipping all over the place. He crashes. He hits his head.
And Jerry's dad freaking punches him.
Yeah, he knocks himself out, and it leads to his dad coming. Tony's dad coming.
Played by Ben Stiller.
Also played by Ben Stiller. He's the lighting fixture king of Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
He like sort of tries to close down the camp. He's like, "Yeah, whatever.
He's like, I don't want to deal with this.
Refunds. Yeah. It's fine." And then we get our ex machina of the movie where
Jerry and the kids are like, "Hey, we don't want to leave camp. We just don't want Tony."
Yeah.
And then
Tony's dad's like, "Well, I could just sign over
Papa.
Papa.
Because he makes it because he's like Tony's dad. He's like, Papa.
Call me Papa.
He has a voice to him. He's like, "Call me Papa."
Yeah. he sort of says like, I could just give over the camp briefly.
Yeah. As long as an adult is willing to become like the person on the insurance.
And Pat steps up because he's been there the longest.
Yeah.
And there's a joke about him not really losing weight, but he steps up, and then the camp continues being this great vibes sort of thing, and it leads up to the camp
annual
relay race.
Rally. Yeah, relay race.
Where it's like a mixture of sort of like academics
and athletics.
And it's really inspiring because everyone sort of wins their own thing. There was a scene earlier where Josh shows that he shaves. And there's a little scene where he's like shaving a balloon. That's part of like one of the race parts.
Keenan's character throws a football.
A perfect dart.
Through a tire.
Yeah.
They have to like climb a wall.
There's like art and culture.
Yeah, there's an art and culture section that allows their Camp Hope to catch up to
Yes.
the other Camp MVP.
British kid steps up.
Yeah, because the Camp MVP kids can't like.
They're dumb.
Yeah, they're dumb. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a movie where like the stereotypes are really exaggerated, so they're dumb. So the Camp Hope kids catch up, and then it cuts to Jerry's turn.
Yeah, and it leads up to you guessed it, the go-karts that have been torn down all summer that what he's been looking for.
Yeah.
He finally gets to ride them. They all gathered together to like build them.
And they even did some extra work on them too.
Yeah.
So there's like the big button now.
And like the kid that Jerry goes up against, he's very like sweep the leg looking kind of kid. He looks like a jerk. But he drives dirty. I think Pat even warns him about that.
Yeah.
And God, the scene is so cool because it's silly because it looks like Jerry's gonna lose, and it's not until he finds a shortcut and
he literally just flies
Yeah.
off this hill over this kid. And it's literally like a he grazes the car.
I would say right then and there is where I'm like, we're watching a Disney movie.
Yeah, it's like that big
yeah, it's like magical and
like Johnny Tsunami
Yes,
riding the wave.
he lands on top of this kid and wins the race, securing the first the trophy for them. And the camp counselor from Camp MVP was like, "Hey, we're gonna contest this."
I know. It's
And
like okay.
to Pat.
Yeah.
And Pat's like, "Whatever, dude. We don't care about this. Like,
yeah, he's like, this is not our camp.
This is not what life is about. Life is
Yeah.
not about winning and losing. Life is about like
enjoying it,
enjoying
and having
yourself."
friends. Yeah.
So we can assume that even if they lost, it still would have been fine.
yeah,
And like, it's such a sweet message.
it is.
And it's
I love the friendship that these kids have. Like they really support each other and love each other.
I think this movie was like a answer to like The Little Rascals that came out
okay.
the year before, but
Yeah.
this movie laps The Little Rascals by far. It's fantastic. I can't say if it laps The Mighty Ducks.
Oh my god!
But it's definitely worth watching. We give it worth watching. Go out and watch it today, and enjoy
your
yourself.
summer. Yeah.
Bye.